Hi everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Francesca. I'm not a beauty influencer by any means. I do geopolitical content, I do cultural analysis content, I've done a couple documentaries, but I've been in a video slump recently in terms of my scripted projects, so I thought I just need to get out of my slump, make literally anything, get in from the camera, get something into Premiere Pro, just do anything. So today we're gonna rate my makeup palettes because I just want to do something fun and easy just to get me out of my slump, and I like makeup, so that's what we're gonna do today. So thanks for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed this. And so we're gonna start with Rimmel London Magnifies Jewel Rocks Edition. I bought this at a Walgreens and I just really liked it because I really love these jewel tones that we have going on here. We have a lot of greens, a lot of oranges, some blues, and I just thought I was a really big fan of this palette. I like jewel tones, but I also like there's kind of like more earthy tones. With each palette I'm gonna do a little makeup look. I already put primer on, and let's get into it. Like I said, not a beauty influencer. Don't ask me where these are from. Probably Marshalls and also gifts. Whenever I use this palette, I tend to use the greens a lot, but I'm gonna try to use some of the new colors I don't usually use. So I'm gonna start with this blue. And I've had this palette for a little while now, but the thing is, I already know, and I forgot to turn on my light. Hey. Drugstore palettes are really hit or miss because they're sometimes not as pigmented as you'd want it to be. And like right now, I guess this shade looks like it's going on pretty well, but I just feel like it's not blending out the way I want it to. It's not as pigmented as I would want it to be. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's already like not one of my favorite palettes, but I am on a mission to use my makeup palettes as much as possible so that I only buy a new makeup palette when an older one is already like over, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go in with this gold, this like mustardy gold. Like this, I feel like that shimmer should be more obvious if it's like a gold, bold color, but you really have to like pack it on to get something out of it, which I'm not a fan of. Like I'm still going. I really want it to pop more. Like I just feel like it's not popping the way it kind of feels like it should be. My general strategy for doing eye makeup is I usually do like a 3 shade, a blend. So I try to do some sort of deeper tone on my outer corner, some middle tone, and then a really bright tone for my inner corner. So that was me just blending out those first 2 colors first, and now I'm gonna go in with this just like really bright yellow. I don't know if the camera's doing it justice, but it's not really white, it's more of like a cream, which also I wish it could build up a bit better. Like, hello? I like experimenting with makeup, I like trying new things. This is my general go-to, but I also like, you know, doing one color on the whole lid and maybe a shimmer in the middle, maybe darker color on the inner corner, which gives it a more dramatic look. There's so much you can do. I've been experimenting more with like graphic liners, which by graphic liners, I really just mean like NYX has a line of liquid liners that are different colors, and I have a few of these. But I do want to invest in eventually some like actual like water activated graphic liners. Not necessarily good practice, but sometimes I use the same makeup brush for like all the colors in a makeup look, which sometimes it works, sometimes maybe that's not how you should do it. But like I said, not a beauty influencer, not trying to be a beauty influencer, just having fun, doing fun colors. NYX has good eyeliners in my opinion. I use this one a lot. I fully messed that up, hold on. I don't usually do my makeup on camera, so this is stressing me out. I swear I'm good at eyeliner, guys, I swear. You know, I'm tired of pretending that YouTube has to be professional all the time. I'm thinking about how like this is gonna be such a goofy video and it's gonna be not like any of the other videos on my channel, and I don't want to take it that seriously. I really just want to do this video to make a video, but I keep thinking about like, well, how am I supposed to make this the best quality it can be? This doesn't have to be a good quality video, and it's not going to be. And I know probably very few people are even going to watch this because it's not the type of audience I have on my channel. It's not the type of content I do. Anyway, here's the final look. It's fine. It's just, you know, I wish these colors had more pop to them. I wish there was more. So unfortunately, I do think this is like my least favorite palette. The only thing that's really redeeming it is the colors. I love these burnt oranges. I love these deep gem-toned greens, but that's really all they have. So I'm gonna take off this look and we'll start on the next one. I have 6 makeup palettes that I need to get through, and I can already tell my skin around my eyes is gonna be so annoyed by the amount of application of makeup, the taking off of makeup, and then the reapplication of makeup. But content, am I right? This next palette is really fun. This is Blueya Away by Morphe. Morphe is arguably a drugstore brand. Like, I got this at a Target. But I feel like the quality of Morphe palettes, I'm never disappointed. So this is the palette. I dropped it once, so this color got absolutely shattered, but I can still use it. There's still some residue in there, but it's a lot of blues, some browns. There's a lot of pigment in this palette, and so I really, really like this palette. I'm gonna try a different method this time. Instead of my usual 3, I'm gonna go for a silver base. I'm gonna go for this silver base. We're just gonna get it all over my lid. Like, look, I don't know, it's so shimmery and so bright already. I feel like I could become an alien if I just put this color all over my body. I don't even know exactly what this is. This like deep purple blue, deep indigo. So I have this kind of defining crease build up. I'm blending it into the silver. Okay, now I'm gonna take the flat brush again and go in with the same color from the other side of the crease and just blend it in. Now I'm just going in with the white, patting it on top. Now I'm gonna go in with this beautiful, shimmery, amazing black and I'm just gonna make this my eyeliner. I decided to just like make this a really deep, like kind of smoky eye and blend out the black into the eyeshadow. This is, guys, I swear I usually have cleaner makeup looks. This is just me having a fun time. If I actually had to give this a rating, I think I would probably give it like an 8 out of 10. Mostly because I don't really use the browns in this palette. Like, I wish if it was more of like blues and purples, I would use it even more. Like, I don't really use these two. I've never really used this peach one, which I feel like is the most out of place. Like, what are you doing here? Anyways, it's a good palette. And despite how much of a mess this made, I think it turned out pretty good. I like that the shimmers actually shimmer and it packs on really well. It builds up really well, and that's all you really want from a good makeup palette. This next palette is a gift palette. It's one I got for Christmas like a year or 2 ago. It's a Lancome palette. Lancome Holiday 2024, so I guess I might have gotten it in 2024. Rose gold. Guys, a color just popped out. What the hell? How did that happen? Guys, this is crazy. How did this happen? That was crazy. That's never happened to me before. But this is the rose gold palette. Now I feel like I need to hold it like a baby. Like, this literally just popped out like it was nothing. Now it looks ugly. It was looking so nice before. But I really like this palette, but unfortunately it's also very similar to another palette I have, and we'll go over that one next. But, you know, it's a lot of shimmery colors, a lot of more like subtle rose colors, neutral colors. At this point I just feel like I have enough palettes with neutral colors, like browns and pinks and stuff. So I'm getting kind of tired of it. I I still really like this. And now I'm really nervous about handling this palette because of the way that color just popped out. But why don't we just start with using that color? I managed to tuck it into its space relatively well. The magic of blending, okay? This is what it looked like before. And I feel like it looks, you know, it doesn't look right? The way you can blend out with a brush is also, I think, a good sign of how good a palette is. This one's okay. Again, with darker colors, sometimes they're really harsh anyway, so you just have to work on them a little. But I really just kind of blend it into my crease and blend it out. Anyway, you see that difference already, right? I feel like I'm cosplaying as a beauty influencer. Also, if I'm doing this strat, I like to blend down this outer color into my lower lash line, just to add some more dimension and really get that color pop in from my eyes. This doesn't make sense. How do beauty influencers do this? This one's nice because I do like the natural palette, but I feel like I need a docker point for the fact that one of the colors like popped out of nowhere. Lancome, what the hell, man? But I do like the shimmers. I do like how the different ways you can blend these different colors together. Compared to the last one, I would give this like a 7.5 out of 10. This next palette I'm very excited about. It's Anastasia Beverly Hills, who, guess what? She's Romanian. I'm gonna be making a video about her in the future. But anyway, Anastasia Beverly Hills. This was also a gift. This is a bit older. So I got this one before the Lancome one. And this is what I was talking about when I was saying that I have a palette that kind of has a lot of naturals and pinks. This is like the only palette so far where I've hit pan. So these two are already like towards the end of their lifespan, which makes me so sad. I really like this palette. I guess I should talk about why I first started getting into makeup in the first place. I first started doing makeup like in middle school, and I was an early bloomer when it came to puberty, so I started breaking out. I had acne, really bad acne, like when I was 11. You wouldn't be able to tell though now, would you? But for a good few years in like middle school, I had really bad acne and I was really insecure about it. And unfortunately, I think like a lot of young girls, I got into makeup because it had this promise of covering up your flaws and making you look beautiful. And so I think that's what initially drew me to makeup, but it was really, really elementary in the beginning. It was a lot of like, my mom doesn't use that much makeup, but she has like some eyeshadow palettes. So I would like go into her eyeshadow palettes and find whatever was like the closest to my skin tone and use that to cover up my acne. But it was eyeshadow, so it didn't do it that well. So eventually I learned like, you know, concealer and mascara and foundation, but I'm not a huge foundation. I don't really like using foundation. I don't usually do a full foundation look unless I'm like going for an event or there's something going on. I'm gonna use Dusty Rose. I usually just do eye makeup. Like I started really getting into the creativity of eye makeup. And I was also, you know, coming of age in middle school and high school in the 2010s. And the 2010s was the era of big winged eyeliner, really vibrant eye makeup, really heavy makeup in general. And I touched on this in my conservative values and self-care trends in that video on my channel if you are interested in learning about that. But we're now in a more naturalistic side of makeup, more naturalistic trends. So a lot of no makeup looks, dewy makeup looks, that kind of thing. But I still really like doing very almost 2010s-esque makeup. Just because I've always thought it was so fun to play around with colors and really try new things. I always get compliments when I go out and I have fun makeup on. Like, people want to compliment that. This also blends out so easily. Look how far that blend took it. Oh my god, I feel like that's actually a bit too much, but we're working with it. I really like makeup. I like that I got into it. Of course, like I said, I got into it because I was insecure, but now I've gotten to a point where it doesn't matter anymore. Like I don't feel like I have to wear makeup, and I feel like that's ultimately where you want to be. I don't think it's a good sign if you feel like you have to wear makeup. And so I don't. I wear it when I want to, which is pretty often because I like doing it as just like a hobby. As you could probably tell, I stopped putting on the mascara as well because you get the idea. Here's what some people will not tell you about doing your makeup. No one actually really cares if it's super even, if like your wings are super even, or if it's super symmetrical on both sides, because most people, their eyes are naturally slightly asymmetrical. It's like usually we can't even really tell, but we can't really tell that our eyes are asymmetrical, but they are. So usually people, first of all, the attention to detail is usually lacking anyways. Like we're not looking that closely at someone's winged eyeliner, but usually it actually adds to the more like human look that is just being asymmetrical. We're on our second to last one, and it might be a bit controversial. It's a Jeffree Star palette. This was a gift. I do not care for Jeffree Star. I've actually never even really indulged in any of his content ever, but this was a gift years ago. And I've been working at it so hard. I'm trying to use colors that I've never used before because honestly, this is such a good, this happened once, mirror's broken, but the colors are so fun and so vibrant, and you're gonna see in a second, but some of these colors I use religiously, like the whites and the red I use a lot, and this teal I use a lot. But there are some colors in here that I generally barely ever use. Like for example, this one, the logo is so crisp still, especially in this one too. So we're gonna use these colors. Let's go for it. It's just funny to be like, this is a controversial brand. But generally, like, look, already so vibrant, like barely put it on. I love having hobbies. This is also something, this was a gift, but I plan to invest in this in the future as well when I run out, but it's a white eyeliner from Dior, a white liquid eyeliner. White eyeliner is fun because no one really sees it coming. You know what I mean? Like, eyeliner is usually black or brown or blended into the eyeshadow somehow. And white eyeliner really just is different. If you are the type of person who really likes getting compliments, I recommend using white eyeliner on a vibrant eyeshadow. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get compliments, by the way. Like, compliments make you feel better, and it also gives an excuse to like start a conversation with someone. I love giving compliments, I love receiving compliments. I think more people should be using compliments. And if you can't tell, I keep looking like this because if I look up and open my eyes, it'll smudge onto my eyelid. So I have to like let it dry and look like this. That's why this is happening. I wouldn't give this palette a 10 out of 10 simply because Jeffree Star, but I have to give it a 9 out of 10 because I use this palette religiously. This is like my go-to when I want a fun color. A lot of colors on here just go with a lot of things. Some of them don't, and that's why I don't use them as much, but I'm working on it. Thank you for sticking with this journey. We're on the last makeup palette. Can I get a drum roll, please? It's another Morphe palette, and it's another really colorful one. This is the palette. Isn't it nice? I like that it's like a pink and purples, blue and greens, reds and oranges, and yellows. Let's see, we've done a blue look, we've done a pink look, we've done other pinkish looks. Let's do a really orange look. I feel like I'm gonna look like a candy corn with this, but you know what? Halloween is just around the corner, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're generally just going for like a candy corn look. See, like, this isn't super out there. I'm also gonna go on top with this orange shimmer and just add some shimmer to it. This I would rate the lowest. The Jawbreaker Jeffree Star palette I would rate the highest. This one is probably just under that. No, this one would be just under the Jeffree Star. This one would probably be tied at like a 9. Actually, no, 8.5. Some of these also don't. Like, a lot of the shimmers I wish were more. I wish they gave more. I haven't been doing a full makeup look, as you've been able to tell. I'm just doing eye makeup, but I usually also take a shimmer and go on my nose bridge. What the hell? Guys, got so much makeup on my face that is not supposed to be there. So what we're working with so far, this isn't really giving like a white eyeliner. This isn't giving black eyeliner, so I'm gonna use a brown eyeliner. This is probably expired. I've had it for years. It's MAC. Anyway, if any of the brands I talked about today do want to sponsor me and send me money and send me free products, I won't say no. I just like having as many colors as possible available to me. I am gonna go wash all of my brushes now because this is too many. Thank you guys so much for tagging along in this eye makeup journey. I hope you learned like I say in all my videos, I hope you learned something. Maybe you've learned a little tip or trick. Maybe you've just learned about what products exists. Or maybe you just, enjoyed hanging out with me. I appreciate it either way. So thanks so much for watching and sticking around and going through the craziness that is doing 6 different makeup looks. And I just need to clean so much and do a face mask and let my face just chill. But I appreciate it if you stuck around this long. Keep a lookout. I am making other videos that are my usual content of being scripted and more analysis based. So I'm excited to get those out. I really do want to get those out. I'm just, like I said, in a slump, but I kind of feel good being in front of the camera again. It's been a little while, and I'll get this into Premiere, and hopefully Premiere doesn't kick me in the butt, but I'm really excited to just get really back into doing these videos. I really do enjoy making them. Sometimes I just get really in my head about the amount of work that goes into making a YouTube video, and that's why I wanted to do something like this where it's so chill. I was just yapping. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you again so soon. Bye.